Hello and welcome everyone to today's Switch Party, the Digital Independence Day, brought to you by the European Permaculture Network, the International Permaculture CoLab, the Digital Circle of the International CoLab, the Eco Hacker Farm, and Jason Snow. Today with me there is Peter Gray and Alejandra, and of course me, Dominik. Peter, we already had before when we switched to Mastodon. Alejandra was here when we switched to Signal. So welcome back, you two. And today we are going to switch to LibreOffice, or yeah, an open source office, so to say. Alejandra, before we started the live stream, already made some good points, and I actually like her to repeat what she said before, because this was really what it is about, actually.
Thank you, Dominik. Welcome, everyone. Yes, I was sharing with Dominik and Peter my personal experience of the broader experience of starting using Linux or specifically Ubuntu, and then have to go through the learning curve of having to use open source softwares instead of the softwares that I used to use, like Adobe and Microsoft. And I believe, in my personal experience, of course, that LibreOffice is definitely Office, just without the Microsoft. Most commands are exactly the same. Maybe later we can share briefly the screen and show you some example of this. But I believe, first, as living experience, that the shift is more an internal shift to happen, and is independently of the skill. Like, is not a skill, it is more, is not coming out as good as before. Sorry, let me rephrase. I think the mindset is what matters the most, because with the right mindset, and the mindset is the one that switch from obviously a tested and expensive software to an open source developing software that keeps to try to keep itself alive and bring in more functionalities. This is not really the case for LibreOffice. It's been around since forever. I remember using it even when I was a teenager, just to try and test it. So that was and I was sharing in my personal experience. Also, there are other software that are more complicated, like video editing software, audio editing software, that maybe it will require a bit more of tutorials or research. But in this case specifically, Excel is pretty much the same. Document is pretty much the same. If you manage to start using Google Docs, is exactly the same type of shift you will go through. Knowing that is good for you, is good for the planet, is good for your pockets, and it's taking away a bit of power from these big tech companies. So I hope you all come on board, and if you ever need support, Dominik is here, and the Digital Circle at large is here for any support. So just drop an email. Thank you. To you, Dominik.
Thank you, Alejandra. Yes, it's all about mindset. So I can't really tell for how long I'm using LibreOffice, but I can probably tell an anecdote. It was like 2002. I'm quite sure it was LibreOffice during that time. I think it was a different name. It was called different. we had these running already, and I wrote like thesis at the university with it, and the PhD, the prof, they already they kind of all the time questions what I'm doing there, because the formatting was not that yet of Microsoft Office, so it was very different because this was in a more experimental stage compared to where it is now. And they always kind of marked my stuff because it doesn't look like Microsoft stuff. I think nowadays there is not that big of a difference anymore. I mean, I wrote a whole book with it. With we always have to remember LibreOffice is like an office suite. So it's you know, it's the writer, it's the Calc, it's the Impress. We have the Draw, and there is the base. So we have also a database application there. I think the least one I used is the Draw. I think I never used Draw. I simply have no application where I would use it. There is nothing around. So the one I'm using most is the writer, of course. So I write really everything with that. The Calc I'm also using, and in using it in a combination. So there I have standalone spreadsheets, but I also have them combined with the writer, so that the one is in the other. I also have a database. So before I used QGIS for the plants, for the place here, where I can sort things where they are, and I had a database created. So for all the plants that I'm having, worked quite well, and it's actually, I found it nearly the same as where I left Microsoft. What's it called? What's it at Microsoft? There's I forget about it. No one needs that name anymore. So I can show you a little bit around. I can screen share. I have opened some documents. Okay, so let me just get screen sharing going here, and then select the. Oh, where is it? I can't see. Okay, so this is my digital permaculture book, where I'm also writing a lot about open source software and the difference between forced freeware, and I go through all kinds of concepts that are kind of on the interculture and IT. So there's a lot of permaculture concepts in there that I transfer into the ethical IT realm. So this is basically one document with kind of, yeah, it's some, I don't know, 200 something, no, 300 something. So all kinds of stuff. But I couldn't complain. I mean, it worked really like I would think Word would work, because I don't have any clue anymore, because I'm using this now for, like, I would say some maybe 16 years or so. It's for me all the same kind of. I'm so used to it, I wouldn't be able to tell you anymore how things would work in Microsoft. So I have no idea how this go. For me, it's pretty straightforward. It's a pretty, yeah, feature-rich document writing Word editor that can do all kinds of things. So for me, in writing a book, the important part is that I see the structure of the book, and that I can move the whole paragraphs around, that I'm able to comment within the document. And of course, all the formatting, using different headings, using different fonts for different headings, and actually be able to say a specific heading should have a specific font or size attached to it. So it's all the same through all documents. Okay, I stop share this here. Let me close that one, and I think I could share. I hope it works. I can share the master document. So when you're publishing a book, the thing really is that different pages need different formatting, and this is achieved by using a master document. So you have these different sections of the book. You have an intro, you have a table of contents, and you have the actual book. And so LibreOffice, the writer, is capable of that. It's perfect. It does all the things that when you go to a publisher and they tell you, oh, do you have a Word document? And you say, no, I have a Libre document, but it can be like a Word document. They're kind of happy. So as long as it does that, what it should do. Let me stop sharing that. Oh, who has put the Alejandra? Was it you?
I wanted to share something I think is important, is that you can export, and when you export, you can decide if you want to do ODT or Word.
Yeah.
So in case anybody really wants a Word document, that's definitely an option.
Yeah, so it does both. It creates it in a compatible way, basically. So either those or that, so that both work, basically. And I think I haven't tried it the other way around, actually, if Word would be able to open an ODT file. Yeah, it does. Okay, so compatible. What I really like is the PDF exporter. That works very well, and it's pretty structured, so you can say from where to where you want to export. You can even have password protection in there and all kinds of things. So I never came across something that I would require from the document, or a feature that I would require where I'm like, oh, this is missing. Never. I mean, back in 2002, where we had to draw calculations within LibreCalc, and we had to show standard deviations on a graph. Libre couldn't do that. It was simply not implemented yet. So, but nowadays, no, it's all there. I guess in the age of artificial intelligence, where Microsoft is advertising that all their stuff is now Copilot ready, I think there are plugins for artificial intelligence into Libre products. I haven't tested them yet, but they are there. Yeah. Have you tested them? Have you tried? No, okay. Yeah.
I haven't. I didn't know they are available. Yeah, no, I haven't. Peter, have you tested them?
We can't hear you. Damn, or sorry. Yeah, still. Yeah. No worries. So there's a huge community around the whole Libre thingy, and it's really huge. When I wrote the digital permaculture book and used the master document, I had a problem. So you usually, or you have to actually import your styles within the master document. So everything looks as you are intended. All the fonts for the headings, spacing, everything's like you designed it. And when I did this, the master document added an additional padding to a header. And it was always like some 20 pixels more than what I wanted to have. And I was like, that can't be. And I first went to the issue queue. So they have on their website like a forum or so where you can report issues. Peter, say something.
I think I've got it.
Yeah, Peter is here.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, welcome.
I've worked it out. Can we do a brochure, a podcast on sorting microphones next?
Okay, let's do that.
Good. Nice to meet you both.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, let me finish that, and then I hand over to you. So I went to the forum, and there was a person helping me, and I tried all kinds of stuff. Like it was like 5 or 6 repeats or so to try something out. And then at the end, it was, you found a bug. And then the one that helped me through the issue actually opened the bug report in their bug report queue. And I then had to report there as well. So I didn't check back. I think half a year was the last time I checked back, and then it wasn't fixed yet. So I think it's a very minor thingy. So it's like 1 in 5,000 or less. So it's not like something is crashing. It's more like a style thingy. So I worked around it by removing the padding in the master document, and then it looked the same. So all good here. The good part is, there are people that try to help you, and there are then the developers who say, okay, this is how it is, live with it, or we are able to fix it or not. So, yeah. Okay, Peter, now.
Okay, so I remember using OpenOffice briefly a few years ago when it was called OpenOffice before LibreOffice, and I've sort of been backwards and forwards to it over the last few years. But since I started my Linux journey last autumn, I thought I need to do this properly. So then I got LibreOffice, and I've been using that almost exclusively. I think what Alejandra said about the mindset is important. You go in and you say, I'm going to make this work. And then you try things out. And like Dominik said, all the features are there, and they're not too hard to find. It's quite Office-like, isn't it? I'd like to echo that the PDF export is good. I quite often make documents and share them with people as PDFs, and that works very smoothly. I'm pleased with that. The trick the thing I find difficult at the moment is getting images within the text. And I haven't quite learned how to use what I think is called the anchor, as to where they are fixed within the text. Is it on the character or the paragraph or the page? And that's a challenge still. I haven't quite spent enough time, I think, sorting that out. But otherwise, very happy.
Yeah, I can second the image thingy. So I had to kind of unfloat the actual, because it kind of creates a container that can be floated. So I had to unfloat them, and then it worked for me. But yeah, they made a big change, I think, in one of the versions where the image handling suddenly changed, especially when you have a caption in it, then it is a frame within a frame. So there are 2 things within each other. And when you then anchor it, you have to click in the right point to get the actual surrounding frame that holds the caption, because that's the one that's important and not the image anymore. So, yeah. But I second you, it took me quite some time for this one. Do you use any spreadsheets, calculations?
Yes, I use a spreadsheet very briefly for very simple, keeping track of copies of books that I've sold. And so, yeah, that's a simple spreadsheet, totaling columns, different sellers, different totals, numbers of books. And that's it. And like you, I don't use Draw. I don't use a database. So it's just the Word and the document and the spreadsheet.
Okay, so let's dive into spreadsheet. I will show one here, so that let me see where it is. Okay, so this has not been created by me. This is from a client for who we created a website. These are information for patterns, like printing patterns. And what we did is we said to our client, hey, there's so much data, please fill in spreadsheet. They used Excel, and then I took this and created a CSV file from it that I then can later use. And it's actually the same like you would know from Excel. I don't see a lot of differences there. So you can do all kinds of stuff. You see, I'm in the cell where I do a text joint. So what the actual client gave me is the file name or the actual number for a JPEG. Okay, and I cannot import, doesn't work for me. So I had to say, this is the URL, the base URL, where it is. This is what the file's called, and this is the ending. It's a JPEG. And then I had to text join it together to get one perfect file name that I can import. So I would say there's everything in terms of formulas that Excel has. So I'm not missing anything, but probably if you're going deep down into some forensic stuff, probably there's something missing that I don't know. But for the basic everyday usage that I have, it's more than enough, really more than enough.
Yeah. Yes, I would agree with that. I put a couple of formulas in to total different columns or different parts of the spreadsheet, and it works very smoothly.
And it's also, it comes with different languages. So depending on the language you're using, of course, the formulas change. So it's the same like in Excel. It's a tricky part when you, for example, come from a German Excel version and you're using the Summe, which is the sum. Nothing works because it's simply not there. So you have to go into the formula window and see actually how the name of the formula is. So, but I miss nothing there. It creates good graphs like diagrams, so all fine for me. All the diagrams that came that I used for my book came from there. It's pretty straightforward. There's you said you use Impress, did you, Peter?
No, just the spreadsheet and the Word. That's okay. How deep it is in the mindset. The spreadsheet and the text document. Okay, not Word.
Alejandra, do you use Impress?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
No, but I wasn't. Something I wanted to share is I wasn't using. I never liked Microsoft Office. Like when it's interesting what Peter mentioned about the images, and like one of the reasons I never really like Office in general is because I think, like for imagination and things, but I come obviously from a graphic background. I will use a different software. So I find personally Word a nightmare with images. And in that also there's this equality with LibreOffice. And I personally do not understand like PowerPoint and Draw, so I never use it. And I also use mainly Writer and Calc, and it's more because with my clients they usually are using Microsoft, so I know that it works. I haven't found yet an instance when something was not in the document or where a function was missing from it. So I think that is perfectly fine to switch. I on a daily basis I work with both, depending on what happened, and it's I don't know if this gives me a lot of insight or very little, but yeah. Back to you, Dominik. Yeah, I don't have much else to share, to be honest.
No worries, Alejandra. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I have one or two presentations that I did in Impress, so I can screen share. So let me, I think I'm missing a font here. I'm sorry. I deleted a font from my system. And now everything looks a little bit weirder than usual.
Unusual.
Okay, so this is a presentation about DIY biogas, which I did for, well, it was in a public library. So it's pretty straightforward. It comes with images and text and background images and diagrams and more images and more diagrams. So I didn't miss anything what I used before from the other one, the MS thingy. There are all kinds of things in here. I create a master document or a master view, how it is called here, that I then could replicate or say, hey, the next slide has to be done with a master view. So it's pretty straightforward to do that. I didn't add a footer in here, but can be done. So there are so many options what you can put them in there and format them. I would say the most I'm doing is learning on the fly. I close to never read any documentation about LibreOffice. It's like I have a problem or I have to do something, I have to create something, and I learn on the go.
Yes.
It's like Alejandra said, it's not a video editing software with a lot of filters and keying and cutting, and it's so
yeah.
We probably could make a session, switch from Premiere to KDN Live.
Oh my God, we are gonna need 2 hours. No,
Yeah.
I'm making it too dramatic.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be interesting because I'm sure a lot of people in the industry, actually, I know for sure a colleague of mine, he worked in visual effects, a very high level.
Okay.
And well, this was when before Blender, I believe just a couple of weeks ago, was acquired by someone dodgy. Was it OpenAI? I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say more because I'm not sure. But Blender used to be an open source software that is like equals to Cinema 4D. For CGI, and this colleague of mine managed the company he was working for to switch all the department to Blender. So it was a massive change, and it's absolutely possible. It just takes that type of flexibility, that type of mindset of being curious and really active learning. You don't need to attend a course. You can just, today I'm gonna use this software and see how it goes.
Yeah.
And the beauty of the open source, as you were saying at the beginning, is that you can find most answers and a lot of people willing to support you in forums, in GitHub, like everywhere. And so it's really just the mindset, and it can be very, very good for your mental health to learn something new every day. So
yeah,
let's do it. Thank you.
Definitely. I'm trying to switch from Premiere to KDN Live for video editing. There is stuff where I say I have to wrap my head around it because I'm so used to some functions that are so easy, like, I don't know, blending two clips over each other. It's so easy within Premiere. And it's not quite the same in KDE Live. So you have to kind of unlearn the one thing before you learn the other.
Yeah.
Or just use it more often so that you integrate it into your kind of in the process, and the more you use it, the easier it becomes. So
yeah,
it's the same with like Photoshop. It's such a huge standard in the industry, or Illustrator, that it's kind of, when you go to a different software, an open source software, you're always like, where is that feature, or how do I do this here? You have to kind of, so for LibreOffice, it was more like a native learning without actually kind of thinking about how it would be in Word or how it would be in Excel. So it was far easier, I would say.
I think there's a friction there, and it's also about noticing how fast. For me, it was really hard at the beginning with Premiere because I could be blindfolded and the commands are there and all of that. So that was a bit more challenging, but it's still I just completed a video from my adventures in Mexico, so it took way longer, and I mean, time is a resource to definitely take into account, but I don't want to discourage people. Let's do it.
No. Yeah.
No, I felt positive about the changes I'm making, and I echo what you said, Alejandra, about our mental health. It's good to try out new things, isn't it? And see it as a way forward rather than oh gosh, I'm struggling, to look to make it good, make it work. And I'd also echo about the support you can get online from forums and all sorts of people.
Yeah. And you never look back usually. No. After some time, it's no looking back anymore. And for some of the open source software, I would never come to the conclusion or the idea to buy a proprietary software in the same category,
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, GIS software, I use QGIS, and I would never look for a paid-for version to it. I mean, the thing is, just because it's open source, it is for free, of course. Yeah, you can inspect the code and you can share it, of course. But the thing is, some of these softwares are so big, it's good to just give them some money.
Yes.
So I do this with Thunderbird, with Libre. I have to probably do it with QGIS as well. The more I'm using it, I kind of make it dependent on how often I use a piece of software.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So I like the strap line, buy us a cup of coffee. That's a neat way of prompting me to send something. I like that.
Yeah.
Not that I drink. I'm not a coffee drinker at all, but it just makes it go, oh yes, some people have worked very hard on that.
Yeah, definitely. I think we should support. It's also that if they have a budget they can work with, I mean, they can then say, okay, let's add another developer to the team, or let's add a developer for that feature or so. So there's this, everyone profits basically. It's a win-win-win situation at the end.
Yeah. I use Windows. Sorry, I keep saying I use Office, not Office, LibreOffice. Most days, and that's the one that I'm becoming much more familiar with. And like you say, not going back. I don't think I'm quite at the blindfold stage yet with it, but It's getting easier and easier.
Some more years, no worries.
Yeah.
There are, of course, other open source Office suites around. So it's not just LibreOffice. I think there is these. Libre has its limits when we have to compare it, not Microsoft Office to LibreOffice, but Google Docs to Libre. Then we're in a different game, in a different world, because all these online collaboration stuff that really doesn't work here then. So then there are other things we have to compare it to. But there are also, if you are used to the Google stuff, you can switch to get a Nextcloud, get the Nextcloud Office there, or is it called, what's the name, Alejandra? Is it
the Nextcloud? Let me check it because I don't know.
So there's an open source version for that as well. So
yeah,
okay.
That is the one we use with the CoLab.
Yeah, that's the one we use with the CoLab. I think it's Collabra or so.
That's a name I've heard. Yes.
So there basically is usually, or like 90%.
Just like new document. I mean, I'm happy to share my screen just to give an idea
please.
of how you can, if you need to collaborate online. One sec. Share. Is it this? Sorry, I just need to find the right one. Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
So this is the dashboard. This is all files. So let's say I want to do a new document. It's called new document for me here, but then you can have new presentation, new spreadsheet, new text file, new whiteboard that we are testing to switch from Miro to whiteboard for the CoLab. Just no new presentation. Okay. Sorry. And is exactly the same type of document. There's templates that like you find on Google Docs. Let's create a blank one. Loading. I'm terrible. I'm on Google Chrome. I don't know why I should not be here, but I'm on Google Chrome and it's really, really slow. And you can find all your favorite things, headings, text, exactly the same you will find on Google Cloud. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and if any of the listeners would like to switch to Nextcloud, that's one of the services that the Digital Circle offers for ethical organization or anybody that would like to switch. Little pitch. Sorry, Dominik.
No, this is the CoLab is partner. You're allowed to do that. Please.
Yeah.
I am looking for the service page of the perma.earth website so that we can post it here and that I then have it in the streaming. So this is perma.earth. That's the International Permaculture CoLab, and within the Permaculture CoLab, there's the Permaculture CoLab is sociocratically organized in circles. And one of the circles is the Digital Circle, and the Digital Circle offers a diverse set of features and services to ethically inclined companies or people. So, for example, there's a sustainability organization that needs a new website, or this, what Alejandra said before, Nextcloud with an not Libre, with an Nextcloud Office, or CoLab. Sorry. That's what the CoLab does. So get in contact with us. We will get you a quote for whatever you need, and we will sit down with you, probably an online conversation, and then we will sketch a plan how the things you need can be done. Okay, so now we have pitched that.
Yes, that's good. Good to hear.
Thank you. That was really good, Dominik. Thank you.
Yeah. So the CoLab is using open source software for a long time, or the digital circle. So we have this experience with the Nextcloud. And also with the different tools that are within the Nextcloud. As Alejandra showed, Nextcloud is a huge ecosystem where all kinds of collaboration tools can be integrated to. So yeah, I think it's quite important for because a pendant to have a pendant to Google that is as good as what Google does, it's worth a shot. So it's not just getting away from Microsoft, it's also getting away from Google. And the Microsoft thingy can be done with the Libre, and the Google thing can be done with the Nextcloud CoLab stuff. So yeah, there should be just show the actual to others. The let me open it. Okay, so
open the floor up and see what it looks like.
Yeah, let me just check if I have the where do I have that? I just have to check my file structure here, where the stuff is. It's like okay, nearly there. This is all QGIS stuff that doesn't help us here. Okay, let's open the base, Libre base, and then open existing database, and then I have to go there, or we just create a new one. 1 second. So, okay. Oh, no. I'm on a new installed computer, and I'm missing some extensions for LibreOffice that I haven't installed yet. So I can't really show you the how it actually looks, but just for a second, let me screen share. Sorry for that. I did. I installed it on Thursday, and I haven't checked that one out. So this is how the actual LibreOffice base looks like. So you have your tables, your queries, your forms, and your reports. But you see, I'm getting a error message because I need to install something additionally to the LibreOffice so that this works. So you can only see that. Yeah, I'm getting error messages.
We have covered quite a lot.
So it's pretty straightforward. It's multiple tables that have different information, like the name of a plant, the Latin name, and the different tables are connected via joins over the Latin name. So you can kind of think of it as Excel or as LibreCalc, and you have one column that's shared among all the different tables. Let's say I have 3 different Calc spreadsheets, and they all have one column A that's the same column name, okay? And what it does basically in the database, it's able to join different tables together on the basis that there is something common. And then I can write a query and query the different tables for information. And then I can create a report that's nice looking. And this is basically all what the base does there. That's the standard feature of a database or of as a SQL database. Straightforward joins and queries and reports. So yeah.
Then are the reports automated or?
Yeah, it can be automated. Like let's say you have one report that says, get me all the plants that have been added the last 10 days. And then it pulls them for you and creates you like an A4 printable version that you then can export. So what I am using it for example, is I have on my plants, I'm experimenting with labels, with QR codes, so that when you go to the garden, you can take a photo and it brings you to Wikipedia, and that's all in the database. So when I have a report and that report pulls all the images with the Latin name, the English name, and the Finnish name, and the link to Wikipedia. And then it creates like a specific size, and then it creates these in like as many as there are, basically, like multiple sites of these then. And what I can do is then I can export it as a PDF, and then I can bring it to the laser cutter or to the laser engraver.
I really like this. I have a thing for really organized things, like borderline OCD, and this sounds absolutely something to have. I really like it.
Thank you. So the last one is the draw. Let's check that one. And now I'm on this will be no. Okay, let's see what it does. I have never used it. So.
It's good to show the family. It's good to show the whole suite.
Yeah. Okay, there's the draw. And I think you can kind of draw stuff like this, and then create connections somehow. Not quite sure, but that's not connected. So yeah, I have no clue yet how this works. So, we can have this, and we can change the color and the position. We can have smileys and this. So it's a little bit like yeah, like a simple vector drawing program. I mean, it's probably, let me export the whole thing as a PDF, I guess. Yeah, it does. It's a PDF. So. But it doesn't show it. Okay, no worries. So yeah, it's a simple drawing application. And should I do it? Yeah, I can write in there, and I can write in there. So this is nice. I can change the color to this, and we can change fill. We can have a gradient.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the thing is, you can play around for hours if you want to try something out or learn it. I mean, that's what I would want to do. I just say, hey, I need something, then go in there and try for some time.
Yes.
I believe you can also add images and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
I have never opened it in my life, but I'm not sure what will people usually do this for. Usually use this software for.
It's like what we have at a CoLab, the whiteboard, I guess, to or like
another software I don't really use.
It's like Draw.io. You can draw pathways like for process or so, or you can do very simple
Like
vector
map.
graphics. Yeah, like a map. Yeah. So I think there are use cases for it if you already have it, like because it comes with the Libre suite, so you don't require another one. It's there and it's useful. It's just, I come from like Illustrator and Affinity or Inkscape, so for me it's not really something I use. So for like this stuff,
we are on the same because if I want to use vectors, it used to be my go-to Illustrator, but since I have abandoned Adobe, here I am in the sea of open source. Let's do where to go after you leave Adobe Digital Independence Day, Sunday.
This is actually a difficult one. It's not that simple because there is no suite that does all the things like the creative suite for the what is it now called, the Creative Cloud.
See.
So there is not one to rule them all.
Well, maybe some developers listening to this want to start working on.
I was a fan of Affinity. I actually paid for the version 1 some time ago. I haven't checked out the new one, but it's not open source. It's just an alternative to the Adobe world. So nowadays it's Canva, and they bought it some time ago. So it's probably back to Inkscape and GIMP.
Yes. Yes, I've used GIMP a bit, not very often, but it's comfortable to use. I'm getting my way around it. Lots of stuff.
GIMP is way better than 20 years ago. But that's like with all the open source stuff. It's now on a level where it's actually really good. And 20 years ago, you would have like, I install Photoshop again. Okay, so we have shown you a little bit the world of LibreOffice, and I hope you liked it. Actually, Alejandra, do you know what's next? I think the next was we are switching away from from YouTube, and we show a little bit of PeerTube. Yes, that was. So we show a little bit of PeerTube the next time. So this is like always the first Sunday of the month. That means, when is the next Sunday of the month? That's let me check the calendar. That's the 7th of June.
Yeah. 7th of June.
Same time, it's 14 CAT. We will be here, and of course we will now start sharing this on our Mastodon, the recording. I will give everyone the link to the recording afterwards. Okay. Thank you, Alejandra. Thank you, Peter, for being here today. This was great. Thank you for your company and for the anecdotes and for your thoughts.
Thank you, Dominik.
Thank you, Dominik.
Really good to meet you, Peter. And
thank you.
be in touch, and please, to whoever is watching this video and will watch this video, put your comments below, and yeah, with any doubts or questions, and let's move on in this journey. Thank you, Dominik, for having me. Really a privilege and a pleasure to be part of the digital independence.
Likewise. Thank you, everyone. Have a good time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, I stopped the stream.